in an all-Chinese encounter. These two superstars going head-to-head for a place in the semi-final. And then from one world number one to another, Sun Ying-sha will be raising the roof, and she brings the curtain down on this morning's session, taking on Satsuki Odo for a place in the semis as well. That will be one to watch. Well, here they come. This is going to be a pulsating encounter between China's two stars, Lin Shidong, the teenage world number one and top seed here, taking on the number 5 seed, Big Fatty, as he is so affectionately called back home by his many fans. Liang Jin-kun on his way into the arena. Both players making their way out onto table number 1, where the spotlight has been shining all week on table tennis's biggest stars. 127 players, all featuring at these World Championships, but we are down to the last 8 in the men's draw. You can hear the noise increasing inside the Lusail Arena, this arena with capacity for over 15,000 fans. And the Chinese fans are out in full force today. Well, this is how these two line up. This is the 7th meeting between this pair, who know each other incredibly well. Teammates and friends off the table, but adversaries once that first ball is hit. The world number 5 with a job to do against the world number 1, Lin Shidong. And also with a job to do, Huang Yanling, overseeing what will be a mesmerizing clash between this pair.
Black for Liang Jin-kun. Black. Receive.
Well, that concludes the coin toss. These Chinese superstars have clashed 4 times already this season, with Lin Shidong prevailing in 3 of those encounters. The momentum, the head-to-head, firmly in favor of the teenager. Last time they met was at the World Cup earlier this year. Lin Shidong taking that one 4-1 in the semi-finals. But before we get into the statistics and the facts and figures, let's head down to courtside and join Adam Bobrow.
Hey, thanks a bunch, Bex. The teenager you spoke of, now 20 years old already. After all these years, he's been world number 1. He's battling against a staple for the Chinese team. Liang Jin-kun has caused some big upsets against world number 1s on the biggest stage in the past. When Fan Zhendong, the defending champion, is battling against him, he met his match. Liang Jin-kun, for me, has nerves of steel and a lot of experience under pressure. This came with time.
Absolutely, that's something that does come with time, but what youth brings you is a fearlessness and a confidence. And it is Lin Shidong who is the younger of the pair, top of the world rankings at the moment. Usurped Wang Chuqin at the top of the standings, 3 years pro. But it seems like he's been around the scene a lot longer than that. 8 titles to his name already, and that's his route through to this quarter-final. A good win over Liam Pitford to kick off his campaign, dropping just the 1 game all week. That was over Sweden's Christian Carlsen, who's just seen in action in the men's doubles. So he's had some very good results, looking strong all week, and that will be an ominous sign for Liang Jin-kun. Those nerves of steel that Adam mentioned, well, he had to call on those in his last match. 4-2, had to come from behind to win that one against Tom Jarvis to seal his place there. But the fans are going for the lower-ranked player. They are going for Liang Jin-kun, Big Fatty. And what do you think, Maria Sapsinos?
I think this is going to be an absolute whirlwind of a match. We've got Lin Shidong here with an aggressive, powerful backhand. He stays so calm over the table, and his consistency is second to none. And then you've got on the other side of the table Liang Jin-kun, close to the table, attacking style, and he loves to counter the balls that Lin Shidong will throw his way.
Love all.
And it's funny, isn't it, when we see a clash between 2 Chinese players, as we so often do, because They train together, they live together, they know each other so well, but then they have to cast all that aside and treat the other as the complete enemy.
And there we go, we've seen Liang Jingkun there, straight over the top of the ball, what he does best. Lin Shidong attacking to him, giving him a bit of pace. And he just returns that with his backhand, diagonally. It is interesting you mentioned that they train together, they play together, they're obviously very close teammates. I think that is part of the nature of the sport. You've just got to cast that all aside and focus on the match in hand. Lovely deep push there by Liang Jingkun to take him 4 points clear.
Liang Jingkun is a three-time World Championships finals medalist. All three of those bronze.
There you go, Lin Shidong just playing into Liang Jingkun's forehand there. Both of them so close to the table, countering each spin that they're giving to each other.
Oh, absolutely superb stuff from the number 5 seed. Raises a fist in quiet celebration, but that was something quite special from Liang Jingkun.
Yeah, and that definitely started from his serve game there. He really went in with intention behind his serve and took Lin Shidong right out wide and then just played that shot right back to him.
Oh, wonderful forehand work from Lin Shidong though.
He really got behind that ball. One diagonal, one over the top, parallel. Really utilising the full width of the table.
3-6.
Oh, we don't see that too often. Shake of the head for Lin Shidong.
I think when these players are doing their service game, they often might make those slight little mistakes just because the percentages that they need to get on those service, and they're really trying to maximise and utilise their service best they can. So mistakes will happen like that, but I don't think it will faze Lin Shidong too much.
I was actually going to ask you, Maria, do these players ever get nervous? You know, they do this week in, week out, but this is the World Championships.
All I can say is that when I used to play them, I never thought they would get nervous at all. They're so cool, they're so calm, especially Lin Shidong. You don't really see much frustration coming from him. He's not one for huge celebrations either. Liang Jingkun just a little bit more vocal on the other side. He loves a little celebration, loves to pump himself up.
Is it fair to say that he looks a little bit frustrated with himself at this stage? How do you assess how it's going at the minute, Maria?
I think Liang Jingkun there just perfectly comes around the back of the ball with that great backhand flick that he has. Straight into Lin Shidong's crossover that last point. There's a lovely forehand flick from Lin Shidong there.
立即預訂低價機票。下載 trip.com app， 發掘驚喜旅遊優惠。
And just there, he just really dug it out wide to Lin Shidong's backhand.
A nod of the head and acknowledgement for Liang Junkun's 11-5 win. Lin Shidong, that's just the second game he's dropped all week. This is the biggest test he's faced so far, but Liang Junkun has come out fighting. He's had certainly a tougher route through to this quarter-final based on his results, but showing absolutely no sign of anything other than utter belief here. Well, we can have a look then at the top seeds that remain at these World Championships. We are into the quarterfinals. Lin Shidong at the top of the standings. Liang Junkun, you can see there, number 5. Wang Chuqin, former world number 1, is second. And Hugo Calderano, the thrill from Brazil, number 3. He's in action in the other quarterfinal at the minute. Jules Morgard of Sweden, he's had a couple of tough matches, but he is still hanging on in there. That's a look then at the top seeds. 5 of 8 remain.
Time.
A lot of fans inside the Lusail Arena packing the stands, and it sounds like they're shouting for Liang Junkun.
Liang Junkun to serve.
His loyal following, and he gets us underway for game number 2, looking to build on the momentum that saw him sweep past the top seed in the first. How will Lin Shidong approach game number 2?
I think Lin Shidong is going to come out, he's going to try and use his serves a little bit more effectively there. He's going to try and minimise the chance that Liang Junkun has to counter his top spins. Whether that's a little bit more power on those shots or trying to change the placement ever so slightly.
1-0.
What an unbelievable get there for Lin Shidong. You thought he was out of the rally. And look, that just dribbles over the net. Oh, the agility you need to get that ball back. And then to get back over the top of the table and attack again. Phenomenal.
And they're two players of very different statures. We've got Lin Shidong, very compact with a great centre of gravity. Liang Junkun on the other side of the table, a lot bigger, a lot more imposing.
I think Lin Shidong's stature is deceiving here. He's got a lot of power behind all of his shots, especially that backhand. And Liang Junkun just capitalising on hitting that elbow area of Lin Shidong. You can really see he gets down and uses all his legs in that shot, right over the top of the ball.
Swats the ball away in frustration. Lin Shidong pegged back, scores now level at 3 points apiece, and a slight shake of the head as well for the top seed, who's making his World Championships debut here in Doha.
Lin Shidong is controllable.
And you can just see from that replay the length on that serve of Liang Junkun. It's that real middle of the table. You don't know if it's going long, you don't know if it's going short, and the spin that he's generating makes it real hard to return. What a rally that was! That is the epitome of Chinese table tennis right there. Utilising all the angles, and there you think Lin Shidong gets that wide forehand back. And how does he make it right across to get that backhand on as well? But Liang Junkun is just there waiting to pounce on the ball.
Absolutely stunning table tennis in this best of 7. Certainly one that you want to see go the distance, and you see rallies like that one.
And just there, Liang Junkun, I don't know if this is a little bit of a tactic of his, but I've seen him push out heavy backspin to Lin Shidong's backhand then. Not straight to his racket, a little bit more to the centre.
Oh my goodness, what a shot, what an angle.
And it really feels like the momentum and the rhythm is going the way of Liang Junkun there. Uses his serve ever so well. Right over the top of the ball and a shake of the head from Lin Shidong. He knows that he can do better than this.
This time it's Liang Jin-kun with the shake of the head. Lin Shidong getting a point on the board and needing to make up some ground because he doesn't look entirely comfortable at the minute.
4-6.
Liang Jin-kun made that look easy.
Yeah, and there he was stepping over the top of the table. Comes right out, you can see his leg moves across and he just moves it right back into position. Opens up his body to get that angle. Lin Shidong had already turned the corner in anticipation. And the last 8 points, 6 of them going the way of Liang Jin-kun.
7-5.
Just 2 points in it, and the scoreboard shows how close it is. But if you look at the demeanour of both players and the momentum, it seems as though Liang Jin-kun should be a lot further ahead.
I think as well, you can hear the crowd are really getting behind Liang Jin-kun there. Not sure what they've got against Lin Shidong, but...
Pulsating stuff. Liang Jin-kun lets out a scream of celebration.
Both players so over the top of the table. That is fast-paced table tennis. Both switching each other. The ability to move wide, the strength in their legs to get into those positions and play such powerful shots.
I'm glad we can see those slow-mo replays because it's so hard to see in real time, isn't it? When the ball is going that fast, fizzing across the table.
I think I often get from my friends, oh, I can't watch the ball, I can't see it. But with these slow-mos, you can really see the pace, the rotation on the ball, and just how much physicality both these players need. Lin Shidong with an epic forehand there, just steps around the corner, opens himself up just to get that angle. Couldn't really tell where the ball was going to go. I think Liang Jin-kun thought it was going to go to his forehand.
And Lin Shidong looks utterly distraught, throws his head back in disappointment. He got himself to within a point of Liang Jin-kun. Liang Jin-kun, they're pulling away again. Just though the momentum might have started to shift, but the facial expression says it all. Oh, that was superb work from Lin Shidong.
A little bit of change of pace there from Lin Shidong. Just takes his time and bends really far down and generates a lot of spin. Ball landing a little bit shorter on the table. Less pace to get into those fast exchanges. And what a ball that was by Liang Jin-kun. Ball just lands a little bit closer and you think he's slightly out of position, but he just stretches his arm ever so well. And he just flicks that wrist and generates so much power on it. Oh, I love this camera angle. You can really see just how much wrist and forearm he's had to use in that shot. There's less elbow, he was a bit further away from the ball.
Seals the game, 11 points to 8. Devastation for Lin Shidong, but it is a best of 7. He does have time to come back into this one. But he's out of the mixed doubles, knocked out with his teammate Guaiman. He's out of the men's doubles. He and Lin Guiyan dispatched in their match yesterday, and this is the only competition he is still remaining in, so it would be absolutely devastating for Lin Shidong if he were to be knocked out at this quarter-final stage. Shall we head down to courtside and join Adam Bobrow to get his thoughts on this one after the opening 2 matches?
Yeah, Lin Shidong needs essentially a shirt change, metaphorically speaking. It's not the shirt, it's the conversation that a coach would have with a player. You see him sitting down here. This is the first time he's taken a seat. He really needs just a new mentality. Again, when you go change the shirt, the coach has something to say to remind you that this is important. Because it's an all-Chinese affair, the coaches are not involved here, but Lin Shidong needs to find ways to make Liang Jingquin uncomfortable, and that's been very difficult so far. It just seems that Liang Jingquin, when he determines that he wants to counterattack, no matter where his feet are, he finds a way to get his hand to the ball aggressively. The world #1 has some real work to do.
Here we go then. Game number 3, Lin Shidong under real pressure. Liang Jingquin,
Third game,
he's calm and ready.
Lin Shidong to serve. Love all.
Adam talked there about that metaphorical shirt change that Lin Shidong needs, and he mentions it because yesterday Wang Shiqin, world #2 second seed here, lost his opening 2 games.
One love.
Went away, changed his shirt, and then was a completely different man.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be sat courtside for that, and you know, it really changes. He took a moment there, it was that extra couple of seconds, the shirt change, he's come out fresh again, and I think Lin Shidong really needs to do that. And Liang Jingquin just pinning him again into that middle elbow area.
And it's as well about taking a step away from the spotlight, away from the noise of the crowd,
2-1.
because that crowd is noisy.
And that crowd is really going the way of Liang Jingquin. You can see after every point they're on their feet, arms in the air.
Oh my goodness. Stunning stuff from Liang Jingquin. How does he find these angles?
I think it's all coming. We just saw the statistic there, about 74% of win on his serve, and he's really utilising it at the moment. We saw the point before last as well. He goes long into Lin Shidong's backhand. He's really mixing it up.
2-3.
Lin Shidong, though, absorbing the pressure really well in that rally.
You'll definitely see that from Lin Shidong. He will not be phased. He knows what it takes to become world champion.
I don't know what to say, Maria. You've thrown your hands up in the air, your mouth is wide open, and it was just incredible.
These players, this is what they're all about. You know, they go from passive to aggressive. Lin Shidong there, just holding off. Liang Jingquin, should I say, his forehand, and he just places it back, and he's holding him, and he's waiting for his time to attack again. But Liang Jingquin just finding that extra wide forehand angle. This is absolutely brilliant table tennis. And another one there.
5-2.
These players are playing some incredible rallies. And at the moment, they're going the way of Liang Jingquin. I think he did a little bit of an apology, might have hit the top of it, top of his racket there, the edge. There is a little bit of fortune, but nonetheless, the rest of the shots in that rally were stellar quality. Changing up the pace there. We saw 2 very fast exchanges before that. He just bends down, gets that extra spin on the ball.
2-6.
Well, perhaps the frustration showing for Lin Shidong, who's received a warning.
I think he received a yellow card there maybe for time wasting a little bit. I just saw the umpire's hand go up and his name be called, and then the yellow card appeared on the screen.
He hasn't used his timeout yet, though.
7-3.
But he's clearly not having a good time. Do you think that that timeout is imminent?
I think it could be, but he might see if he can get himself back into this game. At the moment, Liang Jingquin's backhand is looking unstoppable, especially out wide to Lin Shidong's forehand. just like
7-4.
that, he's going to start closing the gap. I have this feeling that we've not seen the best from Lin Shidong yet. And his ability at 7-3 down to just calmly play that flat forehand flick.
Oh, is this
5-7.
where the change begins to happen? Is this where Lin Shidong manages to find a rhythm, establish himself in this match? Game number 3 of a best of 7. There's a long way to go. Oh, it's devastating from Lin
6-7.
Shidong. Brings himself to within a point of his opponent now.
And you mentioned before taking that time out. And obviously with no coaches in the corner, that is completely up to the players whether or not they want to take the time out. And maybe Lin Shidong 3 in a row there, maybe feels like he has the momentum. And he evens it up.
7-0.
I think the timeout was not needed there. He knew what he was doing. And look at that, the ability to get back Liang Jingkun's forehand flick out wide to the forehand and stay in the rally. Their recovery and response time is just so quick.
7-0.
And he doesn't have a big wingspan either, so to have stretched for that ball where that was just even more impressive. The tide looks like it's turning now. This time it's Liang Jingkun's turn to look disappointed. Shidong is finding a flow, and he's taken 6 of the last 8 points.
And another one a little bit on the short play for this point. We haven't seen so much of that. Maybe that's something that will feature a little bit more. Liang Jingkun not happy about that, thought he should get that ball on the table.
Oh, it's mesmerizing table tennis.
10-7.
And from 7-3 down, Lin Shidong has turned this game around. His consistency has just improved tenfold over these last points.
Lin Shidong looks like a different player, wrapping up the third game, 11 points to 7. He's given himself hope in this quarter-final. Slight shake of the head from Liang Jingkun, the man who took the first 2 games in imperious fashion.
And it all started in that game from that flat forehand flick that Lin Shidong played, where I said that he just looked so calm and it looked so effortless. Maybe that was the tide changing.
Let's head down to join Adam then. Adam, the tide has changed, as Maria says.
Yeah, 8 straight points from 3-7 down is crazy. And looking at the players right now, if I pretend I don't know the score, if I imagine, I look at these two, not so much has changed. It's very subtle because I think they practice mental games so much. Table tennis, physically very demanding, but mentally even more so. Lin Shidong has a little bit more, I'd say, positivity, but there's still a very guarded optimism. These are the matching shoes that it's been a while since we've seen Liang Jingkun in matching shoes, but he had some head tilts down there in the corner as if to say, man, I had a really good opportunity in that game. He won't let it faze him because these players both know how to let the past go.
Absolutely, you don't get to be number 1 and number 5 in the world rankings without knowing how to let disappointments go. It'll be interesting to see, though, how Liang Jingkun responds, because Lin Shidong completely galvanized in game number 3. He looks pepped up, he looks ready, and his body language has changed markedly.
Another fierce opening point there. I think we're going to see a lot of exchanges like this. Earlier in the match, it felt like the tide was with Liang Jingkun on those points, and then towards the end of that last game, kind of went the way of Lin Shidong. We'll see who it goes with. Now, great service by Liang Jingkun there, generating a lot of spin on that pendulum serve into the middle.
Medalist in the last 3 editions of the World Championships, Liang Jingkun. The expectation that he will have of himself is that he's in those medal matches again. Of course, Lin Shidong will expect to be there too.
A little apology there by Lin Shidong. I think again that hit the edge of his racket as it came over, so the bounce was ever so slightly off time for Liang Jingkun.
He
hangs his head back in frustration there. Just taking a moment to compose himself before he serves.
Now Lin Shidong again, just holding, you can see there. Such a short stroke, and he's waiting for the opportunity to slightly make a larger, more powerful shot. He's saying, Liang Jingkun, you can attack at me, but I'm going to keep getting them back until I find my opportunity.
4-2.
A lovely backhand flick there by Lin Shidong. 4 points in a row for him there. And he's with service. He'll be looking to extend the gap and hopefully tie this match up at 2-2.
Well, that's what the neutrals want, but the crowd still shouting for Liang Jingkun. It's a nervous watch indeed for them. Oh, utterly sublime from Lin Shidong.
He just read that so well. He knew where Liang Jingkun was going to place that ball. It was like he was just waiting to hit the perfect shot.
Great change of pace from the #1 seed. Met with an anguished expression from Liang Jingkun, and have a look at that for momentum. Lin Shidong has brought himself back from the dead to take 14 of the last 16 points. Adjectives to describe what we've just witnessed.
What an outstanding point there. I think from all the table tennis I've seen so far at these World Championships, that was an incredible rally. Both players just that little bit further away from the table, really using the full length of their swings. And the crowd will love to see points like that.
One of the points of these championships, and the bar is high.
3-6.
Oh, there's just no living
7-3.
with the speed of Lin Shidong.
He just pinpoints Liang Jingkun into that middle and then takes him right out wide forehand. We've been seeing a little bit tit for tat from both of these players trying to utilize that tactic.
7-4.
Swing and a miss for Lin Shidong, a shake of the head for the 2-time Grand Smash winner.
Play on.
This pair fought for the title at the Singapore Smash earlier this year. Shidong won that one
4-8.
4-2. So another one that was a long, gritty encounter between this pair.
There you can see Lin Shidong just getting down the shot before that one, just to get a bit of spin onto it. Liang Jinkun, all he could do was kind of block it back. And Lin Shidong took full advantage, going for another powerful shot with his backhand. And to me right now, this looks like Lin Shidong cannot miss in these open play rallies. He's getting himself into the perfect position. And he's reading the game so well, and I wonder if that's because they practice so much together. It's like he knows where the ball is going before it's being played.
Liang Jinkun
9-5.
releasing the power.
His elbow comes just that little bit higher there, so he can get that extra angle, because he knows that Lin Shidong, if you're playing straight to his bat or near his bat, he's going to get it back. You need to get those fine, fine margins.
10-5.
5 game points now for Lin Shidong to level this one up. Lin
11-5.
Shidong
Fourth game to
levels
Lin
at 2
Shidong.
games apiece, 11 points to 5. That's the same scoreline by which Liang Jinkun won the opener. It is all square in this best-of-7 quarter-final. What a contest we have on our hands. Let's head down to get the thoughts then of Adam Bobber, who's got the best seat in the house.
Yeah, really thankful to have this seat. It's a pretty cool sight with thousands of fans around screaming like crazy. Really good energy right now. And considering they're both playing for Team China, it's just the quality of the match for me. Of course, a lot of fans for Liang Jinkun, who's been around for years. Lin Shidong right now just seems so comfortable behind the table. He's controlled when he's near the table, but he just doesn't feel out of the point at all. And with a very strong backhand, it puts extra pressure on Liang Jinkun to really keep his placement so specific. I think he's going to have to spin some shallow, slow down the game a little bit when Lin Shidong's behind the table, but easier said than done. These two have a very tall task at hand.
Tall task indeed. Thank you very much, Adam. Well, all square at 2 games apiece, and this is one we want to see go the distance. We've had some absolutely thrilling rallies so far as the players make their way back over to the table. We heard there from Adam saying that he thinks Liang Jinkun needs to slow the game down. How is that even possible?
At this stage, it seems like there definitely needs to be a change of pace.
Shidong to
Liang
serve.
Jinkun
Love 4.
will know it's even scores at the moment, and he'll be looking to stop Lin Shidong from playing those balls and getting comfortable in those rallies.
One
Lin
love.
Shidong just stepping around there and playing such an attacking shot, giving Liang Jinkun no time to react to it.
Utterly incredible. It's the speed with which he hits these balls is just mesmerizing.
And the ability he has in such a small frame of time to change direction as well. That's a whole body movement that he's got to make.
1-2.
Liang Jinkun there with a great service, just forcing the area of Lin Shidong into the net.
What is going through the mind of Liang Jinkun at the minute? He was so in control in the opening 2 games, and now he's faced with a galvanized Lin Shidong.
Yeah, it's tough to know what's going on in his mind, but he did have 2-0, 7-3. And I think
3-2.
as a player, former player, that will weigh on him slightly, and he's just kind of got to forget about it and just continue on and try and eliminate the threats of Lin Shidong. apology there. I have a feeling that clipped the edge of the table. No reaction from Liang Jinkun there, and we'll have a look. Oh, ever so finely, but you can see that Liang Jinkun acknowledges that that hit the edge of the table.
There's much more like it from Liang Jinkun. He'll be pleased with that one. A bit of a confidence boost.
Definitely has to utilize the power that he has. Liang Jinkun there imitating what he thought he needed to do to get that ball on the table, but Lin Shidong just ever so consistent over the top of the table.
Oh, Liang Jinkun is so disappointed. The stomp of the feet.
I think that was a perfect example just there, how Lin Shidong opened up, he used his backhand, and then he just controlled one. And that slight change in pace is really, really hard to deal with. Perfect placement there by Liang Jinkun, coming round with his backhand, using all his wrists straight into the crossover of Lin Shidong.
Will he feed off the crowd noise, Liang Jinkun, or will he block all of that out? How does it feel when you are down there at the table in that intense environment?
I have a feeling Liang Jinkun knows what it's like to have a crowd behind him like this. This won't be the first time he's had fans screaming for him. I think he'll aim to block it out, but it's very, very difficult, especially if you start getting behind and maybe the crowd noise sort of stops and the momentum's not going with you.
Lin Shidong produced an absolute bullet in the midpoint of that rally and will be disappointed with nothing to show for it.
Yeah, Liang Jinkun just stepping around there, a little bit of fortune getting off the net, but that is what he is so good at, those powerful, powerful shots.
Just a point in it now. This is pretty similar to what we saw in the previous game where Liang Jinkun 7-3 up, and then just like that, Lin Shidong was a point behind and then managed to take the lead. And we've got the first timeout now of this match. It's Lin Shidong who's called for it, but an added complication here. There are no coaches in the corner because it's China versus China. How do you cope with a timeout when you've got nobody to dispense advice, nobody to calm you down?
I think Lin Shidong will know that he's had a little bit of a lead in this game, and he'll be looking to kind of stop the momentum and stop the tide going with Liang Jinkun. He'll just more to kind of break up the play. And he'll just focus for a second and go back to his original tactics and think those over. And he'll come back to the table regrouped.
Well, Adam, we are seeing the first time out of this match. Neither player with a coach in the corner. What do you make of this?
Well, they're used to this. It's not the first time we've seen a Chinese player versus a Chinese player late rounds of any major event. It's a common occurrence. This is something they've trained well for. I think this is just a way to sort of cauterize the bleed, to say, you know what? He's got momentum, he's got confidence. Let's just take a break, think about what's working, step outside the court for a minute, and get a more objective view. Feelings can dominate you in a moment like this, and he needs to be, well, as reasonable as possible here, Lin Shidong.
And that won't be the point that Lin Shidong wants to come back from that timeout with. Liang Jinkun there fighting to stay in the point. You can see just how much it means to him.
Oh, and listen to the scream. Yang Jin-kun gets himself ahead.
I feel like it's a little bit of deja vu here, but for the other way round. Lin Shidong coming back usually in these games, but Yang Jin-kun here using all that he has to fight back.
Oh my goodness, 2 points ahead now, Liang Jin-kun. Screaming. The crowd screaming.
I think Lin Shidong will be a little bit frustrated. Obviously, he was the one who used his timeout here with that 1 point up that he had. Liang Jin-kun winning the last 6 out of 8 points.
With the apology for his opponent, perhaps the beneficiary of a bit of good luck there, but he's not going to be too bothered. He's got 3 game points.
What a turnaround this game has been. Lin Shidong leading, looking ever so comfortable. Liang Jin-kun fighting from within.
Let 7-10.
And it's a great way to save the first game points. And Shidong, though, will need to produce something like that again and again if he is to stay in game number 5. The scream from Liang Jin-kun takes the lead once again in this quarterfinal, leading by 3 games to 2. That was an incredible turnaround. You'd almost have written Liang Jin-kun off in that. Of course, you can never write off the world number 5, but certainly he completely changed the complexion, the momentum, and now has the lead once again. Let's head to Adam then. Adam, what is the feeling courtside?
Well, for me, I'm a little bit in my own head, too. I mean, the fans are thrilled because Liang Jin-kun is good friends with Wang Chuqin, and the crowd loves that, so they support him fully here, despite Lin Shidong being the world number 1. But for me, I watch this thinking there's a bit of irony. Tactically speaking, you want to be closer to the table, and the reason China has been so good at table tennis is that they can play the ball with topspin, adding interest right on top of the baseline, staying close. But it felt like when Lin Shidong was playing, that Liang Jin-kun in this game, after being down 3-7, took a step back and said, I can trust myself to cover the mid-ground and arc the ball more. That had been working for Lin Shidong. That's what helped him take over this match. And yet Lin Shidong, after his timeout, was trying to stay right on top of the table. Occasionally he won his points getting in that way, but it looks way less comfortable for him to control the spin right on top of the table.
6 game. Liang Jin-kun to
It is
solve.
Liang Jin-kun
Love 4.
with the advantage here, the 1 game advantage for the 5th seed. He gets us back underway. Game number 6. Just listen to the energy that he's expelling here. Grunting with every point. He's hitting these balls with so much ferocity.
Lin Shidong just getting the better of that exchange there. Just controlling that ball and looking for the moment he can pounce.
And of course, this is a must-win for Lin Shidong.
Yes, definitely, and I think that will be on his mind, but right now it feels like Liang Jin-kun just reaching those extra balls, you know, and he's playing them with such quality. So there, a little bit of a lunge to the wide forehand. But the ball that he plays back is coming back with such good quality. Lovely step around from the corner by Lin Shidong there. He's looking just that little bit extra frustrated with his backhand there. His backhand usually such a weapon and has been during this game. But there, I think he felt like he had timed that perfectly, but it just didn't hit the table. Liang Jingkun stepping around to play his ever so powerful forehand. Making that slight mistake on his backhand coming over the top of the ball.
Play on.
Liang Jingkun's backhand receive. So much quality on that ball.
5-3.
I don't know about you there, but Lin Shidong just looked very nonchalant winning that point. He looked like, yes, I need to win a few more points.
Time up.
Well, I think you're right there, Maria. He's clearly got into the head of Liang Jingkun, who had that 3-point lead. Lin Shidong with that very casual winner, forcing the 5th seed into taking a breather. Has that lead. It's only a slight lead, and clearly he needs to keep that intact. If he wins this game, he is into the semi-final. 3-time World Championship medalist, all 3 bronze. Lin Shidong at his maiden World Championships. Well, there's been an upset over on table number 2. Let's head across there now. Mima Ito of Japan defeating China's Wang Yidi in 4 games. Absolutely stunning stuff from Mima Ito, and that is certainly not one that we would have expected. Congratulations indeed to Mima Ito, who sealed her place in the semi-finals. A wonderful result for the Japanese player. Wonderful reactions as well.
5-3.
But we rejoin this match with Liang Jingkun 5-3 up in game number 6. If he wins this, he's into the semi-finals, but Lin Shidong is a fighter. We saw him fight back in game 3.
And again, I wonder if we're going to see what happened in the last game as well, when Lin Shidong took that time out, but then it went the way of Liang Jingkun. I wonder if that will happen here as well. Liang Jingkun will be looking to capitalise on his second serve after the timeout.
It's pretty much a mirror image of what happened in the last game. This is a captivating, enthralling encounter. Liang Jingkun certainly not the restart that he would have anticipated.
6-5.
Shifting once again. Lin Shidong bringing himself from behind to take the lead. Liang Jingkun had a 3-point cushion. Lin Shidong now the one in control. It's impossible to speculate as to how this match is going to go, because it's just so back and forth. It's a roller coaster ride between these 2 stars. Did Lin Shidong stay in that rally? He was just so nonchalant from back there behind the table.
Liang Jingkun there taking no prisoners. He knew this was a must-win point for himself there. He forced Lin Shidong back, and as you said, he looked so calm, so composed from back at the table. You can never count either of these players out from anywhere they are on the table.
A
little smile there from Liang Jingkun. I think he knew that that is normally bread and butter for him.
Anguished expression on his face.
I think a little bit of change of pace again there. We've seen a lot of these fire exchanges, but Lin Shidong just coming over the ball. Lin Shidong getting 6 of the last 8. I feel like every time that graphic comes up, it's the other player. It feels that way. It feels like
9-6.
momentum shifts to one, and the other gets their confidence back and goes for it. Or maybe it's nerves getting to one of the players as well. Maybe getting a little bit comfortable, but it doesn't look that way. Looks like they're both fighting with everything that they have.
Lin Shidong spins in frustration. He's come from behind to take this lead. He wants to get this game wrapped up. He knows it's a must-win in this best of 7. And these must be nervy moments, Maria. You know, these athletes, they're in high-level competition week after week, but these are important points coming up.
There we go, Liang Jingkun just closing that gap, and it's these fine little moments in table tennis where we might see some of the best table tennis we'll see. If both players are just going to have to play freely, they're going to have to take those risks. They can't play safe at any point.
Well, Lin Shidong earns himself 2 game points. And Jingkun lets out an exasperated gasp. But the job isn't done yet. Jingkun taking an air, puffing out the chest. It's intense, this battle. Lin Shidong levels up 3 games apiece. This is going the distance. This is shaping up to be an absolute classic between these superstars. Lin Shidong once again coming from behind. And he makes it 3 games all. Let's head down now then to join Adam Bobrow. Adam, I don't know about you, but I feel out of breath just watching this. How about you?
What? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's completely exasperating, no doubt about it. I think the factor for me that Liang Jingkun in that big lobbing rally, he has his racket, he never turns it around. He plays heavy side spin there. That was a very interesting choice. Normally a Chinese player would twiddle in that. And also the adjustment that Lin Shidong made for me when he was closer to the table. I know Maria had talked about having to take risks every shot. It's a fine balance, I think, and for him, he's adding a little bit of topspin and keeping his racket higher because he says, you know what, if I'm closer to the table, the most important thing is that I keep it on. And he's very good at using his peripheral vision. And one of those last 2 points, I can't remember which it was, but Lin Shidong sees out of his peripheral that Liang Jingkun, and he also knows the pattern. Liang Jingkun's left open the forehand, and as soon as the body weight starts to shift, he hits it behind him.
And look at that record in deciding games. 60% Lin Shidong, 63% Liang Jingkun. This is the decider, and it's impossible to predict which way it's going to go. This pair evenly matched in every sense. What's it going to come down to, Maria? What's it going to take to close this match out?
I think we've seen time and time again on this table 1 that when it gets to these crucial points and these last moments in a game, it takes risk and it takes mental and physical bravery to go and win the matches. And I think both players here are going to come out and really, really show us some quality. Ball just bouncing ever so slightly shallower on the table, making Liang Jin-kun really stretch.
1-3.
A sense of frustration there from Lin Shidong. He knows that he cannot afford to give away any easy points at this moment. And I mean, he is playing against Liang Jin-kun, so services like that are not easy. But I think he'll think that he at least needs to get himself into the rally and into that open play.
But he's been in this position before. He's come from behind to win games. I can't imagine that he's too concerned right now about being 3 points back.
Yes, we have to think back to that third game where he was 7-3 up. Liang Jin-kun and Lin Shidong fought ferociously to get back and take that game. Could have been a completely different match had he not.
5-1.
Lin Shidong just trying to take the ball extra early there as the players change ends at 5. Little pauses like this can make the difference in the game as well. They'll have to come back to the table after the towel break, but...
And of course, with both players having used their timeouts, it's a great opportunity, isn't it? Just to take a bit of a breather, have some space to reflect and clear the head.
Yeah, there again, Lin Shidong just looks so calm. He does not look phased at all. He's winning points and he's saying, okay, next one, next one. And that's what he's got to do to get back into this game. A little bit of a hop, skip and jump from Liang Jin-kun there. Lin Shidong taking him really wide out to the forehand.
Lin Shidong's backhand coming under ferocious pressure there. Lin Shidong, of course, has got that yellow card. He's trying to keep himself calm, and that's a tough task, isn't it, Maria?
Yes, definitely. He'll know that he can't be seen to be wasting any time at all. He's got to come back to the table, even if he wants to take a bit of a breather, because he can't take the risk. Because if you get another yellow card, it will turn into a red, and you will end up losing a point.
We'll have a look at the last 32 points, split at 16 apiece.
7-4.
They're looking nonplussed, but this is the kind of match that you just don't want to see, and it's just quality, packed with just highlights. Whoever's putting together the highlights reel is going to have such a tough task to do so, because this has just been point after incredible point.
Oh, and there, Lin Shidong winning that point and going straight for the towel. He knows points like that are crucial at this stage. These fiery exchanges that both these players are having, you can never know which way they're going to end up going.
We are getting to crucial points now. Lin Shidong running out of time to make up ground. Liang Jin-kun 3 points away from a place in the semi-final. Can we expect a comeback from the world number 1 here? Oh, Liang Jin-kun with the apology. I can't imagine that he really cares too much about how he won the point, because the point is that he won it, and he's 2 points away now from the semis.
I think he won't be too annoyed, but Lin Shidong will be with that little edge ball.
Goodness.
9-6.
Incredible fighting spirit from Lin Shidong. He knows that his opponent is closing in on the match.
And I think there was just a little bit of talk between the players whether or not that went up or down the trajectory, and if it was an edge ball, but I think they both confirmed that it hit the side of the table.
Oh, goodness.
7-9.
Lin Shidong showing incredible fight. And he wants his place in the semi-final. Staring his opponent down ahead of the serve here. Oh my goodness.
7-10.
Yang Jin-kun read it impeccably.
Again, another hand up, a little bit of fortune, and Lin Shidong looks up into the sky like, when will it be my turn to get a little bit of fortune? But Yang Jin-kun will just be focused on winning one of these match balls.
Yang Jin-kun wraps up an absolute classic, a 7-game thriller to seal his place in this semi-final. What a contest between these two absolutely incredible athletes. Yang Jin-kun salutes the crowd for their ferocious support, allows himself a broad smile, and why shouldn't he? He's into the last four. 3-time bronze medalist at the World Championships. He's always in the mix. Next up, An Jae-hyun or Hugo Calderano for the number 5 seed. It is Lin Shidong, who is now out of the men's doubles. Congratulations indeed, Yang Jin-kun. That was an absolutely captivating marathon encounter between this pair. Well, have you caught your breath yet? That was a classic, that 7-game thrilling encounter between the number 5 seed who defeated the world number 1, Lin Shidong, in his debut at these World Championships. Well, he'll go away, he'll have plenty to think about, but Yang Jin-kun, absolutely imperious, got it over the line, performing incredibly well under pressure. And it was just point after stunning point in that one. Came down to incredibly fine margins. Yang Jin-kun taking just 3 more points than his opponent. And Shidong will be bitterly disappointed to be going home at this stage. But what a way to lose. What a match that was. Perhaps we saw the point of the tournament in that one. There was just so much quality from start to finish. And we can get the thoughts now of our match winner. Yang Jin-kun is courtside, and he is joined by Adam Bobrow.
Yang Jin-kun, congratulations. You've got nerves of steel. The last 2 times you faced Lin Shidong, he beat you 4-1 in both. What did you do differently today?
首先，恭喜梁靖昆获得了比赛的胜利，向我们展示了钢铁般的意志力。在之前2次与林诗栋的交手时，都是以4-1的比分输掉了比赛。今天有做了什么特别的准备吗？
首先，我觉得能赢下比赛还是非常高兴吧。我觉得今天整体来说，自己在意志上，包括战术上，我觉得打得都很好吧。
First of all, I am extremely happy to have won this game. Overall, I have done a great job in terms of my mentality and my tactics.
For the 2nd time, you've beaten the world number 1 at the World Championships. For the last 3 World Championships since 2019, you've taken a bronze medal. Is 2025 the year we see you play for a gold?
从2019年以来的3次世锦赛都是获得了铜牌，本次世锦赛击败了世界第一，进入了半决赛，觉得自己会有什么更大的突破吗？
首先我觉得能赢下林诗栋，我觉得非常高兴，他的实力非常强。我觉得对自己来讲的话，还是要守住吧。我觉得，因为下一场可能对外战，我希望明天要用100%的努力去跟对手去拼吧。
I'm happy that I've won Lin Shidong. He is an extremely strong player. So I think I will keep my momentum. The next match I'll be facing an opponent from another team. I will put my full strengths to the next match.
We know you will. Congratulations and good luck in the semis.
恭喜，希望下一次比赛也加油。
The singles draw in the men's competition. Liang, the first player through to the semi-final stage. Who will join him? We're going to discover as competition goes on today at the ITTF World Table Tennis Championships Finals Doha 2025. That takes us away from the men's singles for a moment. Next, we bring you something compelling. There is drama afoot in the women's singles competition. Every quarter-final is the People's Republic of China versus Japan, and it's already shaping up to be fascinating. Next, it's Sun Ying-sha against Satsuki Odo.